This is 12.3, Trigonometric Functions of General Angles for Honors Algebra 2, Part 1. Alright guys, so today what we're going to learn how to do is to find trig functions for any general angle in the coordinate plane. Alright, so in the xy axis plane. In lesson 1 of this chapter, we learned how to find trig functions of right triangles. So the difference now is we're actually finding these trig functions for these angles on this xy plane. All right, so on the coordinate plane. One of the biggest differences is now you have to worry about positives and negatives. All right, and some people like to use these formulas up top right here. I actually still like to use SOHCAHTOA since I'm used to using that with our right triangles, and I'll show you how to do that with some examples. All right, so I think the best way to do it is just to show you. So for number 1, it says the terminal side of theta in standard position contains each point. Find the exact values of the 6 trigonometric functions of theta. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sketch out where this is on my coordinate plane. So draw an x, y axis. And 8, 4 is going to be in quadrant 1. Okay, so 8, 4 might be somewhere not drawn to scale. Oops, somewhere there. Where this is 8 and this is 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a right triangle with that point. Now, be careful. When you draw your right triangles, always draw it to the x-axis, never to the y-axis. So let me write that down so you guys remember. So always draw, sorry, that's hard to read, the right triangles to the x-axis. All right. So always to the x-axis, and then your angle, your theta, will be at the origin. Okay, so always draw right triangles, drawing it to the x-axis, like I did right here. All right, so I don't want to do this. That is bad. Okay. And then our theta is going to be at the origin. So that is my angle to find these trig functions. All right. So with that, I know that this length right here is 8, and this vertical length is 4. So we do some Pythagorean theorem to get our hypotenuse. So square root of 64 plus 16 gets me the square root of 80. And then that simplifies to 4 rad 5. All right, so then this right here is 4 rad 5. Okay. So now we're ready to find the 6 trig functions. So first, let's start with sine. So sine of theta, and make sure you write sine of theta because sine needs something in the function for it to make sense. So don't just write sine, make sure you write sine of theta. And then, let me go ahead and label these sides for you. This would be opposite. This would be the adjacent side, and this is our hypotenuse. All right, so still using SOHCAHTOA, I have opposite over hypotenuse, which simplifies down to 1 over rad 5, which is rad 5 over 5. Cosine of theta will be adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 2 over rad 5 when you reduce, and rationalize to 2 rad 5 over 5. And then tangent of theta will be opposite over adjacent, which simplifies down to 1/2. All right, so those are our first three. And then now we're going to do the reciprocal. So secant is going to be the reciprocal of sine. Now instead of taking the reciprocal of this guy, I'm going to go ahead and take the reciprocal of this guy because that makes simplifying a lot easier. So then rad 5 over 1 is just rad 5. And secant of theta, which is the reciprocal of cosine, I'm going to flip that to be rad 5 over 2. And then cotangent will just be 2. All right, so that's how it's done. Okay, let me show you another one where it's not in the first quadrant. Let's try one in the second quadrant. All right, so second quadrant, let's go ahead and draw that triangle. To the x-axis. So this point right here is -5, 5 rad 2. So here I'm going to put -5, and the vertical is 5 rad 2. And I do keep the negative there, even though the distance obviously is not negative, but the negative tells me the direction. So I purposely am keeping that negative there on that 5. All right, do some Pythagorean theorem. So we got 5 square, which is 25, plus 5 rad 2 square, which is 50. So 50 plus 25 gets you 75. Square root that, and we get a hypotenuse of 5 rad 3. All right, and just so you know, the hypotenuse will always be positive. All right, the hypotenuse will always be positive. All right, and this is our theta right at the origin. Okay, so let me go ahead and label these. So this is going to be my opposite, this is my adjacent, and this is my hypotenuse. Okay, so let's go ahead and write down some trig functions. So we have sine of theta being opposite over hypotenuse, reduces down to rad 2 over rad 3, which will rationalize to rad 6 over 3. All right, next is cosine adjacent over hypotenuse. This reduces to -1 over rad 3, which rationalizes to negative rad 3 over 3. And then tangent will be opposite over adjacent, which reduces down to negative rad 2. Okay, and next we're going to do our reciprocal functions. So we got cosecant. All right, will be rad 3 over rad 2, if I'm looking here, and just doing the reciprocal. Rationalize, we get rad 6 over 2. And then secant, if I reciprocal that guy, I get negative rad 3, right there. And then cotangent, if I do 1 over rad 2, don't forget that negative, I get negative rad 2 over 2 when I rationalize. All right. And so that's how it looks like when it's not in the first quadrant. You start seeing some negatives for some of these trig functions. Okay. In fact, actually, if you go up here, this guy kind of gives you just a summary of when trig functions are positive, depending on what quadrant they're in. All right, so this is which trig functions are positive. And we're talking just about sine, cosine, and tangent. We're not including cosecant, secant, and cotangent since they're the reciprocals of the original three. So those will just match the sign of its reciprocal. Okay. So the A in quadrant 1 stands for all. So if you noticed in our first example, all the trig functions were positive. All right, so that's what happens when you are in quadrant 1. In quadrant 2, this one, sine is going to be the positive one. All right, and the other two are negative. So if you notice in example 2, we saw that sine and its reciprocal, cosecant, were positive, and the other two were negative. All right. So if your terminal point ends up in the second quadrant, then your sine will be positive, everything else will be negative. All right, or your sine and cosecant will be positive, everything else will be negative. For quadrant 3, your tangent is going to be positive. All right, and then sine and cosine will be negative. And then in quadrant 4, cosine will be positive, and sine and tangent will be negative. All right, so you can do this in different ways. You can get all the values of the 6 trig functions down first, and then use this to kind of tack on the negatives. Or if you do it the way I was doing it, where you just keep the negative on that 5 base, it kind of automatically does the positives and negatives for you, and then you can just kind of double check with this kind of trick. Okay, so it's up to you. Easy way people have remembered this ASTC. Different people have come up with different things. The most common ones I found is that all students take calculus, or all students take classes. Yeah, you can make up your own, but those are the two that I've heard the most for you to remember going from first quadrant to fourth quadrant. Okay, there's one more type that I want to show you, and then I'll have you guys practice this a little bit on your own. Starting number 3. So if you notice, number 3 is a little bit special. The reason why is because it doesn't actually land in a quadrant. This is like a special situation where it lands on either the x-axis or the y-axis. In this case, the y-axis. So if we were to kind of sketch this out, we have 0, 4 right there. And it's hard to draw a triangle with that unless your right angle is at the origin, which we don't want to do. Okay, so what I do is I write out the coordinates here, that x, in this case, the horizontal, like if I start at the origin, my horizontal movement, x, would be 0. My vertical movement, y, would be positive 4, since I'm going up 4 to get to that point. And then the radius, meaning the distance from the origin to that point, is also 4. All right, and then how I think of this is I think of x as my adjacent side, my y is my opposite side, and my distance from the origin is my hypotenuse side. And then I do SOHCAHTOA from there. All right, so then sine would be opposite over hypotenuse, so 4 over 4, which is 1. Cosine would be adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 0. And then tangent would be opposite over adjacent, which is undefined. All right. And then cosecant, I just take the reciprocal, so 4 over 4 still is 1. Secant now would be 4 over 0, which is undefined. And then my cotangent would be adjacent over opposite, which is 0. All right, so that's how you do those special cases where the point lands on an actual axis. All right, don't forget the rules for positives and negatives still apply, so be careful about that when you're doing these as well, okay? All right, why don't you guys go ahead and pause this video and try numbers 4, 5, and 6. And once you're ready, unpause, and then we can check our answers together. All right, so here are your answers for 4, 5, and 6. So for number 4, we got sine of theta is equal to negative rad 10 over 10. Cosine of theta is equal to 3 rad 10 over 10. Tangent of theta is equal to negative 1/3. Cosecant of theta is negative rad 10. Secant of theta is equal to positive rad 10 over 3. And cotangent of theta is equal to negative 3. All right, so keep track of those positives and negatives and be careful with that, okay? All right, number 5 answers. We have our sine of theta is 0, cosine of theta is negative 1, tangent of theta is 0. Cosecant of theta is undefined, secant of theta is equal to negative 1, and cotangent of theta is undefined. All right, you can see my setup up there if you're not sure where I got those. And lastly, number 6, we have sine of theta is equal to negative 4 over 5. Cosine of theta is negative 3 over 5. Tangent of theta is 4 over 3. Cosecant of theta is equal to negative 5 over 4. Secant of theta is equal to negative 5 over 3. And cotangent of theta is equal to 3 over 4. All right, and that's it for this lesson.